Welcome back to F.A.C.E, Miad.
Hi Dale, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, Miad?
I am great. Thanks
All right.
thanks for having me back.
Yeah, gosh, it's been a while. Have you used Zoom before?
I did, yeah, I did. But I
Okay.
had to during the pandemic, innit?
Yeah, so there's the green box that says share screen. Will, show your screen and we could talk about it. I'm assuming that you have some things that you wanted to address in the markets, and glad I was able to find a spot for you. So you just click that green share. It's coming up now.
And you can see my screen.
Okay, yeah, we have pound Swiss. I know you trade a lot of these exotic crosses. So I know when people come to me and go, Dale, can you get me in? That there's something going on in the markets that you consider important. So what's the message of this pound Swiss besides it being pretty directional? What is this, a 1 hour chart? Huge range.
Yeah, yeah. Again, thanks for having me over. I think it's been nearly 1.5 years last time I've been at your show.
Wow.
And gold
You have
was on
more
the
of a
bottom,
Scottish
wasn't it?
accent now than you did before.
Yeah, it's growing on me.
All right. So how have things been going? Family's all
It's all
safe
good.
and
We
healthy?
all we all turned into zombies over this pandemic, and life's been very mundane. We kept things together. I think it was
Okay.
important to, especially the kids, because they weren't in contact with other people, just to keep them sane, take them out where it was possible.
Yeah.
We are lucky with the Scottish rolling hills here, so you got lots of places to go where you can hide.
Okay.
Um, we did a lot of that just to
Yeah.
just to
So
keep the kids going, really, and myself
yeah.
as well.
Are they going back to school in
Today was the
Scotland?
today was the first day back at school. Yeah,
Okay.
which is good, I think, for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. I know a lot of parents do. It's a lot of parents have trepidation that the kids could bring it home. If, like, say, for example, you live in a multi-generational home, and say your parents or grandparents were also in the house, that they'd be vulnerable to their grandkids or bringing home the virus, and they're more vulnerable. But we'll see. It's definitely. I'm glad. Um, this one is even worse than the last one. When I was around in 1918. So, how have you been able to trade this? We've had some massive moves here. Um, and maybe currencies haven't been as dramatic as some of the other asset classes, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to be open and hear what you have to say about this and
First,
pound
I'd like to bring
Swiss.
up, yeah. First, I'd like
Go
to bring
ahead.
up the macro view we had over the specifically starting towards middle and end of May. We really
Yeah.
started to see Europe outperform United States in terms of CPI, which was probably the first time in a very, very long time that Euro had a better ticking CPI. Unemployment
Okay.
was lower, retail sales started picking up. So we had a lot of good positive things going on for Europe. And of course, there came the mutual debt agreement, and the whole thing just skyrocketed. That
Yeah.
obviously helped Euro a lot over the past couple of weeks and months. And that's the trade we've been continuously building on. However, last week, things started to look a little bit less exuberant for Europe. The Euro area started to stabilize the growth, and the United States rapidly started picking up. We specifically saw that in EuroCAD. I always like to use CAD as a proxy for United States strength, because if United States is doing good, Canada is even doing better as their
Oh,
close trading
interesting.
partner. So
Okay.
we tend to look at EuroCAD when United States is starting to outperform Europe. Why not Euro USD? Because in this environment, Fed is really hell bent on devaluing United States dollar. They are just bringing in so many tools and so many programs just to flood the market with dollars to keep liquidity going. I feel trading Euro USD on its own, especially on the short side, is not very it's not very profitable. Not the easiest thing to do at all. Not in this environment anyway. Where if you look at your crosses, specifically if you got Canada and you got oil started to rally, you have a
Yeah.
better understanding why we saw all of a sudden, shy of shy of a 400 pip drop just over the past 2 weeks or so. It was mainly because the economy started rotating a little bit. That's really just to understand why we came where we are. And also means if United States dollar is declining, you're going to see all the commodities rallying. Like you saw oil rallying, you saw copper rallying really hard. And there were some supply and demand constraints, but the main reason behind everything is dollar is dropping, everything else is moving higher. That's really what market is all about right now. Again,
Okay,
as of
so
last week,
this is, according to your work, this is a long-term turn in the dollar. We're not going to revisit par or higher. Is that your view?
to my understanding, we have not seen the bottom of the United States dollar this year.
Okay. All righty.
Because of the dynamics that are in play, that continues to be in play. We started consolidating because the economy started to pick up in the United States, and it's starting to level off against the other economies. I'm going to quickly show you a chart. This is a macro overview of all the G10 economies like the United States, Europe, Japan, Australia, Canada, all the other ones. You get a quick flash look at where the GDP is, CPIs are, unemployment, and you get to see that the United States is still hanging behind with the GDP. Industrial production is a bit behind, and unemployment is still a bit higher. That's why you can see all those other economies are doing a little bit better than the United States. And that theme will likely continue until the United States can bring down the slack in the unemployment again. And that will help retail, that will help CPI. Now today we had really good CPI print from the United States. I'm expecting this to continue as a lot of money is in the rotation in the economy, a lot of people getting paychecks. And that's the same thing with all the other economies as well. But going forward, I usually use this as an overall macro view if I want to know where the next 500 pips are. That's the sort of thing I like to look at.
Okay. So the unemployment number was the most important number in there?
One of the key ones, because unemployment, by the looks of it, peaked in the United States. So it's starting to decline. Still, it's way, way higher than all the other peers. And that's got a lot of intricacies. It means there's less money in the hands of people. There's less traveling to work and going back to. There's a lot of things that the economy loses out if there's higher unemployment. So the quicker that comes down, the quicker United States dollar can stabilize. But there's a lot of other things that there's PMIs, there's service sector really picking up in the United States. That's why you saw Euro USD starting to chop about, and GBP USD as well to another degree.
Okay, thank you.
Going back to GBPCHF, there's something I wanted to show, and that's one of the reasons why I am very, very bearish on this pair. I'm going to quickly delete my lines here. So this is the monthly view we had on this chart. I'm going to draw out where it opened in the beginning of the year, which was bang on here. And from the beginning of the year, it just continues to start dropping. One of the main reasons is that all the other economies, all the other central banks like the Bank of England and the F.A.C.E and the BOJ and the ECB, they all started to print massive amounts of money. That's the sort of thing that the SNB or the Swiss National Bank cannot keep up with. So you saw that sort of theme where Swiss franc is doing better than the GBP. On top of that, you have loads of still the Brexit risk that's unresolved and continues to get built into the premium. That's causing this to drop further. Just to really get behind why GBPCHF did not climb back like all the other ones. I'm going to also show you the.
Oh, just stay there for a minute, Miad. So when I look at the chart, you see that first wick in July? In July.
Yeah.
No, last July.
Yeah.
I mean, a year ago. Go to your left. No, the red one, the low. Okay, see that? The next to it.
That would be August. Gotcha.
Okay, there you go. Okay, there's one wick, and then go one in March during the crash.
Yeah.
There's two, and I look for 3 drive formations. So based upon that, and I don't even see an RSI up there, but I could just visualize it, that there could be one more drive to complete, one more low under that wick.
So looking below 1100.
Yeah, that we could have. Then I think that there might be, an important turn, especially since it's a monthly chart. You would probably see a lot of non-confirmations even at new lows now on momentum. So, but it looks like, now that I see that chart, you know, there's some pretty good pips between here and the March low,
In my
right?
opinion, there definitely is. And it's important to
Yeah.
understand why it's happened. That builds up more confidence, and it gives myself and other traders as well the opportunity to start adding into this decline instead of trying to keep taking profits, more thinking about how much more can I make out of this trade. I'm going to also show you the GBP pound. This is the pound index, and it's obviously correlated with that, but probably a little bit more closer correlated with GBP USD. But since the start of the year, so there was, and about here, pound did not manage to reclaim the yearly open. And that's the sort of thing I'm interested in about to understand why that didn't happen. So there's a lot of Brexit pre-menstrual risk in the currency, and the economy isn't doing that great anymore. So I'm likely going to see pound index starting to fall off from the yearly high levels again. That's something we look into as well.
Okay. So would you favor longs in euro pound? Do you think euro's going to outperform cable?
Yeah, definitely. Euro pound probably got more to go. But I prefer GBPCHF, as I have a better understanding how both central banks are operating and how much power they really have. SMB has got so much power to print money, and BOE has got so much. They started adding negative interest rates to the toolbox. This is always like the start of something really bad. I'm imagining there's lots more bearishness into GBP, specifically against CHF. That's sort of where I like to see more pain.
Okay.
This to that, and I like to discuss something that is called the London Fix. The London Fix happens every day at 4 p.m. London time. It is a very known fact. This has been going on since the 90s. The London Fix is usually referred to the bullion fix, where they fix gold prices, but also between banks every day at 4 o'clock. They do fix forex prices as well. That is really important for money managers around the world to be able to calculate their portfolios against that specific fixed price. And what that means for market means there's usually a lot of volatility going into the fix. So I'm gonna, since I'm here on the GBPCHF, I'm gonna scale down to the hourly chart. I'm gonna show you these red lines that represent the 4 p.m. fix at London time. And usually the hour going into it, you see there's a lot of volatility and usually high volumes. And all the papers that's been written about the London fix is more about the manipulation that happens around the fix. Nobody pays attention to what happens after the fix. How significant are those levels that are being created after that? So I started to chime more into that, and I devised a couple of more strategies, how to be a little bit more specific and detailed, and how to be able to use these London fix levels to get into trades. It is as easy as that, where you would just mark out your 4 p.m. fixed price, and it's usually the opening price which you're more concerned about, which would be on the green candle, the opening price there, or on the bearish candle would be the top there. And once we have the fixing prices, again, what happens before that is more or less irrelevant. What happens after is more important to me, and the way it moves away from the level, the significance it had in the market. Going into this week, we were pretty sure GBPCHF will have a hard time driving prices higher from here. There's lots more interest going down the way. So
the first candle after the fix?
It will be literally bang on the 4 p.m. candle. So 3 p.m. is where the fix happens, if you were to say. And by 4 p.m. we have a price. And it's the opening price I'm interested in. If I were to go down to the minute candle, it would be bang on at the 4 p.m. the day before. Like every charting package might have the time zone a little bit different. Right now in Britain, we're operating BST, so on the British summertime. Going into October, we'll be going 1 hour back, so we'll be different again. But bang on the price where it opens there, it's the price we're interested in to do business with. And usually we'll find that specifically with Tuesdays, it sort of sets the tone for the week. You find that prices do gravitate back into that. So if I had a bearish view on Monday, I would rather wait until Tuesday, see what happens, what sort of price action I'm going to get out of this, and try to get into cheaper entries before it really starts taking off. Now here we had a decent drive lower, and you tend to see these cycles come and go all the time, specifically on a weekly basis. Depending on what the Forex calendar is offering you, you see a lot of opportunities around the fixes where you can get cheaper entries, as opposed to where you think like, oh, I might want to short on a breakout. It's usually smarter to wait for a revisit onto the London fixed level, as there's been a lot of business going into the level. There's a lot of banks' interest into specific prices that are surrounding the level. Now, London fixed strategy that works with almost every FX currency, but just looks so much crisper, so much easier to trade the pound FX pairs, because it's just much clearer and much easier to identify as well.
And your comment about Tuesday, would that be in line with, you know, that old timers tradition of a turnaround Tuesday?
There might be. There's another thing that nobody talks about, that by Tuesday, by the end day of Tuesday, CFTC starts collecting data for COT that are then published on Friday. So we tend to see a lot of bids and offers going into just the fixes, just everybody balances their books and they just give exactly the data they wanted to give to the CFTC. That seems to be one of the cool things as well that I've been tracking. Tuesday seems to be a key day to wrap up business, if you may to say.
Okay. Nice. Some, you know, you're really delving into things that most people would never even think about.
Yeah, again,
I mean, I wouldn't think about, well, you know, what's a candle doing around the fix for,
right.
you know, for a trade. You know, there's no particular point in time. I would say the only time I probably use is, you know, potential reversals on Tuesday. But that's interesting. Every day you have potential trade setups based on the fix. First time I've heard it. Yeah.
There's another last thing I'd like to talk about, which is euro and the Swedish krona. Probably not a currency everybody loves to trade, but just again, we are continuously going to hammer lower, mainly because Sweden economy is doing better than euro. One of the other reasons is as well, with the approval of the mutual debt, countries which are within the euro area but not sharing the common currency, they still need to pay into it, right?
Okay.
And they need to pay a certain amount of their GDP into the mutual debt. Now, those countries will prefer they have a stronger currency, so they have to pay less into the euro, if that makes sense. But we've seen most of those currencies that are in the euro area, like EuroSEK, or even the Czech krona, even NOK, all of them, they continuously started declining because they all those countries prefer to have a stronger currency against euro. So when the time comes when I need to pay into that debt, they basically will need to pay less, if that makes sense.
I get it. All right. So we're not going to let a year and a half pass again, my trading warrior brother.
I hope
you have
not.
another chart to show? Go ahead.
That would be all. No, that would be all from my side.
Okay. Well, why don't you let people know what your business model is and how they could get in touch with you, follow you, etc. if you want to show your website.
Yeah, thanks for the setup. So what I do lots of macro analysis and then try to bring technical into it, just so when we're on top of trends, we don't just close the trades, but we're able to add into that. So when you go on my website, Speculative Trading, right now I do have an offer for the London fixed strategy, which I talked about. Just do lots of more videos about the swing trading ideas and daily trading ideas. They're all into that package, which I will be all releasing by the end of August. But if you pre-order now, you can snatch yourself a pretty decent discount.
Okay.
And that would be all for me.
You want to show it? You could show your website if you want to put it up there.
That is the offer page itself.
Oh, okay. All right. You want to show it?
Can you see my screen, or is this
You'll
still the
probably
chart?
have to do. Yeah, I'm still seeing Euro PLN, so you probably have to stop sharing and make it a new share. Is my guess to show
There
your
we
website.
are.
There you go.
So that would
London
be
fixed strategy.
that we're able to get into the videos that will be released by the end of August. And if you pre-order now, get a decent amount of discount. Again, lots of strategies, not just for the day trading, but also swing trading, and specifically when market starts momentum driven, how to use those fixes to get into cheaper entries.
Okay. Well, you could find Miad at on Twitter at ZFX Trading. And his website again for that offer is speculatorstrading.com. Thank you, my trading warrior brother. I hope you have a great summer trading season and everyone stays healthy and pips just continue to roll into you and all your clients' accounts till I talk to you again.
Thanks, Dale. Thanks for having me, and everybody have a good week.
All right, Miad, that's Miad Kasravi, everyone. And that's a wrap for us. So I'm going to be shutting it down. You're very welcome. Oh, you're welcome, Brock, Sinatra, Gorkum, Alexandra. You guys have a great day. I have another, Dana Lyons will be with us tomorrow. Dana's a top-notch analyst, so I'll see everyone tomorrow. Good hunting the rest of the day. And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See everyone mañana. Take it easy.